Howdy, how's it going? My name's Davvy Chappy, and today I'm going to be talking about the new Unearthed Arcana for January 2018. This little handout features 3 new subclasses for playtesting. It's got the Circle of Spores for the Druid, the Brute for the Fighter, and its last archetype is the School of Invention for the Wizard. Another archetype for the Wizard. Again? Anyway, keep in mind that this is all my opinion, so feel free to disagree with anything that you want, and if you have anything that you'd like to add, leave a comment down below. With that out of the way, let's begin. To start with, we have the Druid's Circle of Spores. Blessed by Papa Nurgle himself, these pretty little pestilences gain a bunch of plague-themed spells, such as Gaseous Form, Light, Contagion, and a few others, but their main gimmick surrounds their first ability, Halo of Spores, which allows the Druid to shoot out poison spores that do damage that scales with level to anybody within 30 feet. Now, a few weird things about this ability is that it's an instant hit, as in there's no roll. You just straight up get hit, like a gross magic missile. Secondly, the damage is static, as in you don't have to re-roll it. It does 3 damage at first, and then it goes up to 12 damage at 14th level. That's really weird to just decide that something does set damage to something else, but it's still interesting. But the ability doesn't get really good until the second ability, known as Symbiotic Entity, which allows you to use Wild Shape to power up your spores instead of turning you into an animal. This doubles the damage of the spores, and it makes your attack do bonus poison damage, implying that this archetype is made to be more of a midline fighter. The Halo of Spores is further increased as you gain levels, not only doing more damage, but letting you resurrect people that you've killed with the spores as plague zombies, letting you shoot the spores in an area effect, and finally making you immune to being blinded, deafened, frightened, or poisoned, as well as making you immune to the extra damage from critical hits. Honestly, I really like this class, and I think that if they added an attack roll or a con save to the Halo of Spores, it would be a really fun class to play. This one gets a pass for me. Okay, next up is the Brute, which confuses the hell out of me because it's basically Diet Barbarian. It's Barbarian Light. It's like if you wanted to take a Barbarian, but you were too self-conscious about your body. Jokes aside, this archetype is clearly made for anybody that wants to put more brute force into their fighter, no pun intended. Giving you more damage on your attacks, making you better at saving throws, making criticals extra critical, and other such things that make me wonder if wizards might have forgotten that there's already an entire class dedicated to this. Either way, if you're looking to be more civilized barbarian, check this out, but I'd honestly be a little disappointed if I found this in an official book, because it would just make me wonder what else could have been in that slot, but didn't make it. Still, it's a nice class. And finally, we have the Wizard. Okay, Wizards of the Coast, you know I love you. You've developed a game that I've been playing for years, and overall, 5th edition has been among my favorite tabletop systems since its inception. You guys do great work, and I'm excited to see what you have planned for the future, but please stop making archetypes for the Wizard. Officially, it already has 10. 8 in the player handbook alone, and 2 more in supplements. Like, I get that Wizard's in your name, but come on guys. The Druid only has 4 archetypes, the Sorcerer has 5, not including Planeshift Kaladesh. I'm just saying, it's good that one of these 3 subclasses is a Druid, but you might want to shift priorities a little and maybe not focus on things that have already gotten a lot of love. Especially the Wizard. Okay, rant over. With that being said, the Invention Wizard actually looks really cool in concept, but it looks a little bit overpowered to me, and it does come with some personal gripes that come when you look at the class as a part of the bigger picture. It starts off with 2 tool proficiencies of your choice. Side note, I highly suggest using Xanathar's guide on how to use tools, it's fantastic. And you also get an arcanomechanical armor, wow that name is hard to say, that acts as studded leather armor, but it also gives you resistance to force damage. At later levels, this armor can alter spells to do more damage or change the damage type, and eventually you can swap out a prepared spell for a non-prepared spell as a bonus action. Now, in addition to all of that, there's another feature that you get at 2nd level that I've been waiting until the end to mention, and that is the Reckless Casting ability. Essentially, instead of casting a cantrip or a spell at levels 1 to 5, Reckless Casting allows you to roll on a table to shoot out a completely randomized spell, with a 14th level bonus letting you roll at a table level higher than the spell slot you burned to use the ability. This is problematic. It seems like a really thoughtful and inspired ability, and I'd love to use it sometime, but not on the Wizard. This subclass is the antithesis of what a wizard is supposed to be, since they're supposed to be calculating and spending a lot of time studying and planning to use spells, not just waving their hands around to see what comes out. You know what I could see doing that, though? The Sorcerer. The Sorcerer already has the Wild Magic archetype, and this does it a little bit better if I'm being perfectly honest, and this Invention Wizard seems to be working to phase out the Sorcerer for some reason that I'm failing to understand. Like, a while back, there was a previous UA wizard called the Lore Master that looked like it was trying to be a generalist wizard, but it ended up stepping on the toes of the Sorcerer. This archetype is just trying to take the Sorcerer's shtick of the spontaneous caster, but without any real reason for it. Like, I understand that it's always cool to try new things with the classes, but when I read over this new archetype, I just keep thinking, why? Why does this exist? And then it makes me want to play the Wild Magic Sorcerer again. Like, this archetype is fine, a little bit overpowered, but fine, but I personally think that it shouldn't be published in an official book. It's just superfluous. And that'll do it. I hope you enjoyed this video, leave a like if you did, and if you have a topic that you'd like me to cover in a future video, leave a comment down below. But yeah, Davvy out.